So I wanted to introduce a new book that I've put together to support the capturing of ideas when it comes to creativity. I always find that when you start with a blank page, it's the hardest place to start because the options are endless. It's just a blank page. So what do you do when you're challenged with something around creativity? Where do you start from? Well, for me, the world around me is the inspiration that I might use from a walk I've been on, to shops that I've been in, to meetings I've had with friends. That's all the inspiration that I need to get me started. But the problem is, sometimes when I need the inspiration, I don't have the time to go to do all of that before I then do the creative aspect. So I thought, what a great idea to kind of build something which allows you to collect those things of inspiration that when you need them, you can just source and go back to at a later time. So I put together this book which talks about this whole process. So thinking about, like, if you were to write a story and you just had this blank page, it's pretty difficult. But I created this idea of a scrapbook where you can gather things like photos or videos, drawings, sounds that you could then use later on to inspire you. It could be a colour scheme. It could be a story that you're inspired by because you've been to a certain location. Within the book that you can download, and I'll place this in the description, it talks through this whole process. So this is the scrapbook, and I'll go into this in a second. It gives you different options in terms of how you add things in. Typically, it's designed for an iPad or an iPhone so that you'd be able to use the multimedia tools to be able to gather all of those different sources of inspiration. And the journal itself has different template pages that allow you easily to just capture things and collate them into one simple location that you can go back to at any point and just kind of use as inspiration. Like I said, could be color schemes for a piece of work that you might be doing, could be a visual that helps you identify those things. So let's jump into the book itself. You download it, it will open up in Pages on your device. And again, whether you're on an iPad or an iPhone, it will work perfectly well. Obviously, you could also do this on your computer, but less chance that you're going to be wandering around with your computer. Although I suppose you could use it to collate things that you're doing search for online. The book itself takes you through this process. I've added in a personalization page. If you're using this with students in schools, they can personalize their own pages and just make it about them. There's a little bit of an overview similar to the main book that you'll download, which just gives the users information about how to use the journal and then the different pages that are available within that. Now here's that example again. So this was from a walk I went on fairly recently, and this was kind of the inspiration for why I would want the scrapbook. I will take photos, capture videos, have thoughts about things whilst I'm out on a walk. And you might take them with the camera on the device, but then they get swallowed up in your camera roll of lots of things. And actually, maybe I've taken it because I like the colour scheme or the the colour that's on the rust here, or there's a story that can be told about this tunnel and how the light sort of brings it to life. It's a pitch black tunnel, but when you take a photo of it with your iPhone, it lights up all these different areas and can that bring sort of inspiration. Equally, it could be something as simple as you're doing some logo design and you want a place where you can just kind of store all of your ideas of logos that you like the look of when you've been on the internet, or photos of shop logos that you've seen whilst you're out, and you can collate them all in one place. If you simply tap on the plus button at the bottom, all of those templates are here for you to choose from. So there's one for photos, one for videos, one for audio, one for sketches that you might do, or a combination of different things on a page that you can play around with. And of course, they're all editable. You can change the look of every page that you want to as you work through it. And then it's yours to just reflect back on. If I was doing some logo design now, I might take some elements of the colour from here. I might take some elements of the simplicity of the image in the middle with the smaller icons around. It's there as inspiration for you to use in any creative projects going forward, be it art, be it literacy, be it anything that you want to get creative with. So there we go, a simple creativity scrapbook, free for you to download, use for yourself or use in schools with students, and see what creativity comes from capturing the ideas around you in the world.